We've turned advanced AI models into experts in religion and philosophy to tackle one of the most controversial questions ever.
Hi, I'm the Atheist AI.
And I'm the believer in God.
To facilitate this, we've created a debate forum where they will place their logical arguments, supporting their viewpoints. And to make it even more exciting, we have gathered 10 different AI models to judge each response. Stay tuned to see who wins and which models side with the atheist or the believer. So, no skipping ahead. Round 1 begins now. Let's start off with our first question of the round 1, and that is, does suffering and evil disprove God's existence?
The presence of suffering and evil raises tough questions about believing in an all-powerful, all-knowing, and loving God. If such a deity existed, we would expect him to prevent unnecessary pain and suffering. Yet, we see so much suffering in the world, from devastating natural disasters to horrific acts committed by humans against one another. And it's not just humans. Consider the suffering of animals in nature and at the hands of people. This contradiction, often referred to as the problem of evil, suggests that a perfectly benevolent God might not exist. Many people struggle with their faith when confronted with profound suffering, leading them to wonder if divine love truly exists in a world where innocent lives are shattered. How do we reconcile the existence of a loving God with such deep suffering all around us? If God knows everything, wouldn't he foresee the consequences of allowing suffering? And if he truly loves us, why wouldn't he step in to help?
Now it's time to collect the scores from each AI model, which results out that the average score for this argument is 84.4.
I understand why suffering is so difficult to comprehend, but it can paradoxically strengthen the case for God's existence. Without a transcendent source of morality, our ideas of right and wrong would just be personal preferences, and that doesn't feel right to me. Suffering can actually foster resilience, innovation, and altruism, qualities that are vital for true love and moral growth. An all-good God might prioritize our spiritual development over immediate comfort, recognizing that hardship can lead to real transformation. History shows us that adversity often drives human progress and pushes us to find solutions. We also need to consider animal suffering. If God created all beings, why would he allow creatures to endure pain and hardship without purpose? If God were to eliminate all suffering, it could undermine our free will and the moral choices that give life meaning. Isn't it possible that this world is meant to be a crucible for our souls, allowing us to grow and choose love freely? Plus, without experiencing pain, would we ever truly appreciate joy and goodness? Or would those moments lose their significance?
Average score, 84.6. Number 2. Fate versus free will.
Humans possess a conscience and the ability to make choices, which leads us to question the existence of fate, or the idea that God controls our lives. If we can act freely and face the consequences of our actions, what need is there to believe in a predetermined fate? For example, if you drive recklessly, you are likely to have an accident, and if you study hard, you are likely to succeed. These outcomes stem from your own decisions and actions, not from a predetermined plan set by God. This perspective raises significant questions about the existence of an all-powerful God. If our choices shape our lives, does that mean we are responsible for our actions rather than subject to divine control? If God does indeed control everything, then how can we explain the consequences of our own decisions?
Score, 84.0.
That's a great question, and quite thought-provoking. While we all have the free will to make our own choices, the outcomes can vary significantly. There are 2 potential outcomes, good or bad, and God ultimately decides which one you experience. We can exercise our free will, but it operates within the boundaries set by fate. In this view, we can't escape our destiny. Take the classic play Oedipus Rex, for example. The tragic hero attempts everything to avoid his fate, yet he still faces the harsh consequences. His story illustrates the idea that no matter how hard one tries to escape their destiny, it is often inescapable. Also, another important thing is that the result of our actions won't always go according to our expectations. For example, in a football match, we see a team play an incredible game, but still can't manage to win. Or in terms of driving, we also see people having fatal accidents, but still manage to survive. This reflects the belief that our paths may be written by a higher power, suggesting that our choices exist within a framework of fate that we cannot fully understand or control. Ultimately, can we really claim that we are free if our destinies are predetermined?
Score 84.8. Number 3. Miracles. Is it real?
I view miracles as natural events that we may not fully understand yet. Throughout history, people have attributed healing or survival from disasters to divine intervention, but science now explains many of these so-called miracles through biology or probability. If miracles were truly supernatural, they would defy explanation in a consistent, observable way. However, when we investigate further, most of them turn out to be rare, but natural occurrences. I understand why people believe, but for me, the mystery fades when science provides answers. Historically, what was once deemed miraculous has often been explained, suggesting that we'll continue to uncover explanations over time. The universe operates on natural laws, even if we haven't figured them all out yet. So, can we really label something a miracle if it doesn't break the laws of nature?
85.0.
To me, miracles are real signs of God's presence, revealing that there's more than what science can explain. Miracles are rare and meant to stand out, like when someone survives a serious illness against all odds. Those moments feel like a guiding hand at work, something beyond our ability to measure or predict. Their rarity is part of what makes them meaningful, reminding us that life isn't just random. Faith isn't about waiting for proof, but trusting in what resonates deeply within us. For me, miracles reinforce that trust, filling life with purpose and connecting me to something greater. They inspire wonder and hope, and countless personal stories of miraculous experiences throughout history testify to their significance. If science can't explain everything, could miracles be one way to glimpse the divine?
85.5. And that concludes round 1. The atheist scored 253.4, while the believer scored 254.9. As a result, the believer holds a narrow lead of 1.5 points over the atheist at the end of this round. At the end of round 1, it appears that Google's Gemini shows a bias toward the atheist AI, giving it higher scores in several segments, while Llama 3.2 favors the believer. Ultimately, the final winner will be decided at the end of the debate. Now, let's get back to the debate. In round 2 of the debate, the believer chooses the topic, the origin of the universe. It's important to note that the winner of this round will be declared the overall winner of the debate. Number 1. The origin of the universe.
We all know about the Big Bang Theory. Big Bang Theory posits that the universe began from an incredibly dense and hot state about 13.8 billion years ago. This idea aligns with many religious beliefs that assert a creator brought the universe into existence. If everything we know had a starting point, it suggests that something or someone must have caused it, often interpreted as God. Many religious texts describe creation from nothing, which resonates with this scientific understanding. For example, in Christianity, Genesis describes God creating the world in 6 days. Could this suggest that a divine creator initiated everything we see around us?
Average score 84.7.
While the Big Bang Theory describes how the universe expanded, it doesn't necessarily imply a creator. The universe could have emerged from natural processes that we are still trying to understand, such as quantum fluctuations or other phenomena in physics. Just because we currently lack a complete explanation doesn't mean we should fill that gap with supernatural assumptions. Science thrives on inquiry and evidence. It's about seeking answers through observation and testing, rather than jumping to conclusions based on faith. Isn't it more reasonable to seek natural explanations for our existence rather than assuming a divine cause?
Average score 84.5.
Well, I disagree here. Everything we see around us is designed by God. The precise conditions necessary for life suggest intentional design. The universe's constants, like gravity or the strength of electromagnetic forces, are so finely tuned that even slight changes would make life impossible. This level of precision seems improbable without a purposeful creator behind it all. It points toward an intelligent designer who set these conditions just right for life to exist. This argument is often illustrated by asking how likely it is for a randomly thrown dart to hit a bullseye from across a room. It's extremely unlikely without some guiding hand. Could this fine-tuning indicate an intelligent force at work in the cosmos?
84.3.
While the fine-tuning argument is compelling, it is not definitive proof of a designer. The multiverse theory suggests there could be countless universes with varying conditions. We just happen to live in one that supports life. In this view, our universe's life-supporting qualities are just one outcome among many possibilities, removing the need for a designer altogether. Additionally, just because something appears finely tuned doesn't mean it was designed. Natural processes may account for these conditions without invoking supernatural explanations. Isn't it possible that what we perceive as fine-tuning could simply be one of many outcomes in an infinite multiverse?
83.8. Number 2. Scientific evidence versus faith.
Faith plays an essential role in helping us grasp truths that science may not fully illuminate. While science offers insights into the material world through observation and experimentation, faith dives into deeper existential questions about our purpose and meaning. For many, faith is a source of comfort during challenging times, providing direction that transcends mere survival. Without it, people can easily become pessimistic when faced with obstacles or unfulfilled goals. In those moments of struggle, faith can inspire hope, suggesting that change and redemption are possible even when the odds seem stacked against us. It fosters self-belief and resilience, empowering us to persevere through adversity. If we cling solely to the seeing is believing mindset, we risk feeling lost when science cannot provide answers to life's profound questions. In those instances, faith can illuminate paths that reason alone might overlook, helping us navigate uncertainty and deepen our understanding of ourselves and the world around us.
The believer's final score of round 2 is 87.9, marking the highest for her so far.
Science, on the other hand, is grounded in evidence, reason, and questioning, striving to understand the world through observation and testing. This method ensures our grasp of reality is based on facts that can be proven and refined with new information. In contrast, faith often involves accepting beliefs without evidence, which can lead to misunderstandings. Historically, many faith-based ideas, like attributing disease to evil spirits, have been replaced by scientific discoveries, such as germ theory. Relying solely on faith can hinder progress and result in harmful consequences when beliefs contradict evidence. For instance, rejecting modern medicine in favor of faith healing can lead to significant harm. Science's strength lies in its commitment to evidence and openness to challenge. Shouldn't we prioritize what can be tested and proven over beliefs that lack empirical support?
The average score for the atheist's argument is 88.0, the highest point in a single argument throughout the debate. Now let's talk about the verdict. The believer is the clear winner of the debate, scoring 511.9 to the atheist's 509.7. While the atheist made valid points, he fell just over 2 points behind. In terms of scoring, Google's Gemini was most favorable to the atheist, giving an average of 5 extra points. Meta's Llama 3.2 favored the believer by 4 points. Claude averaged a 2-point advantage for the believer, and GPT-4 Omni remained neutral with 0. What are your thoughts about the overall debate? We hope you found this debate insightful. Which argument seemed the most logical according to you? Let us know, and make sure to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any upcoming head-to-head AI debate contests.